Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 3. The match review. What a game it was, what a performance it was, and very, very kind of unexpected in a way, although...
we all saw it coming.
Yeah. Well, Billy says that all the time. He says, I predicted a win. Well, I predicted a win. I predicted 4-1, so I wasn't far away, guys.
You predicted 3-0 loss first.
No, but when I had a reincarnation, Billy, and I was born again to believe that we would win the game, and so it happened. Guys, tonight, if you do enjoy tonight's show, please do give it the thumbs up, and of course, if you're new, please do hit that bottom right hand corner and subscribe to the channel as we now head towards 28,000 subscribers, as we fantastically hit 27 last night. Incredible achievement for us. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It means the world. It really does. Onwards and upwards for the channel, and with your help, of course, we will get there. You can become a member of the Toon Review as well, which a couple of people already have tonight. Hit that join button just underneath the three of us, and you will be in. It's going to be a whirlwind tomorrow with lots of members, prizes, giveaways, etc. And of course, you can donate to the Toon Review if you do so wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through to a payment method and get your comment read out with certainty. Anyway, let's check these. Peter McCardle, thank me your super chat. He says Gordon and Bruno both won booking away from 2-match ban. Would any of you take Ekatike on loan, as Isak and Wilson will miss more games this season? Lewis Nightingale and Fappa Pickle, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for the support and signing up. And Chippers has made a donation to Parkinson's and Young Minds already because he won't be around much tomorrow. A £50 donation. Thank you very much, Chippers. That's really kind, mate. I also think Howe's sub of Tino was the key moment in the match as it shut down Villa's chances of a comeback. Nick Thornton, thank you for your super chat as well. Congratulations on 27,000, gents. Thank you very much, Nick. Very, very kind, my friend. Right, guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes of last night, of course. I was worried before the kickoff, I have to say. I was worried about us getting overrun in midfield, etc. And Villa coming out very strongly, going at it from the word go. It didn't happen like that, Alex.
Yeah, first of all, good evening.
Good evening, yes.
And second of all, game plan from Eddie Howe. Different pressing structure, different movements on and off the ball, a lot more work from the fullbacks, a lot more work from Sean specifically as well, which allowed a bit of leg saving to be done. And it was smart. It was really smart. It was a lot of man marking. Everybody was sort of going man for man, which could have been really, really dangerous. But Villa didn't really figure it out. And by the time they'd figured it out and made subs, it was game over. We'd brought on a back five, closed the back door, closed the front door, closed the side door. It was done. So, excellent set from Eddie Howe tactically. And Emery, for this masterclass nonsense, couldn't handle it, couldn't get it sorted. So,
Billy, it was from the word go. I think Newcastle United looked really strong, looked really good. Didn't allow Villa to come onto us really, apart from a few occasions where maybe Diaby should have done better with his chance. But saying that, we had a couple of one-on-ones as well.
Yeah, I think the key to it all was keeping hold of the ball and not giving it away in city areas or any areas for that matter. We kept the ball fantastically last night. We really did treat it as our friend. The midfield worked hard, combated their midfield. And as I always said, the high line of Aston Villa was going to catch them out. Balls over the top or through the channels for the pace of Isak and Gordon and Murphy was always going to be a threat. And so it proved it was a masterclass from Mr. Eddie Howe yesterday. And, Emery, very one-dimensional, I'm afraid, and that's why they're not going to finish top four positions.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I put a tweet out today saying that it was nice to see Eddie shut that part of Villa's game down. In that 10-minute spell, when Bailey came on, they were at us. And you listen, you'd always expect that from Villa. The home side, the 3-0 down or 3-1 down at the time. They've got to come at us. They have to. There's no choice. So we expected Villa to have a little bit of that. But, some people were still putting comments on saying, oh, he reacted to it. He wasn't proactive. In a situation like that, a manager has to be reactive than proactive. Julie, Alex.
Yeah, it was poor. It was poor. He'd got personnel on the bench. He could have changed things. He could have changed shape. He should have identified what we were doing, whether he was, and the message wasn't getting relayed clear enough to the players on the pitch. Who knows? But they just didn't handle it. And I think, I'd prefer to kind of focus on the Eddie Howe side of this tactical battle, purely because obviously there's been a lot of talk about, especially in the media, about Eddie Howe has taken us as far as he can go tactically.
Yeah,
I think this just goes to show it's absolute nonsense. We've played a top team that are doing very well this season, unbeaten at home since February of last year.
Yep.
He's had 2.5 weeks away, actual time on the training ground, still with limited personnel. Let's not forget we're still missing like 9 odd players. And put in that kind of performance was largely down to the tactical shifts and little tweaks he made. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think for people saying that Eddie Howe doesn't have a plan B, because it's the same two phrases from people. He's got his favourites. He doesn't have a plan B. Those are the two things that get banded around a lot. And I think that's unfair. And I think he showed last night that he's got flexibility. You give him a bit of time to adapt. He can do it. And it's great to see the growth from the manager.
Yep. PD Proudlock, thank you very much for your super chat, matey. Very kind. Congratulations on 27k subs, guys. Very well deserved. What a win yesterday. And also, I'm still wondering where Villa watches. Yeah. Yeah, he disappeared off social media, didn't he? After promising everyone £100 who liked his tweet. I think he ended up on about 30 grand, and he's vanished off the face of the planet, which is quite funny.
God for that.
Yeah. Billy, outstanding performances yesterday from a number of players, of course. We have to start with Fabian Schär. Not just his goals, Billy, but his performance all round. And I think the fact that both himself and Botman have now played a few games back together again, it's starting to, bloom again, isn't it? The combination between the two, because let's not forget, Botman was outstanding as well. He just gets on with the game like he normally does. But the two of them together have this incredible partnership that they shall not pass kind of thing. And it's great to see the two of them back to the best.
Yeah, I think they're finally getting trust in the goalkeeper that helps matters as well. I think they're actually trustful of Dubravka behind them. I thought Schär was outstanding last night. His actual footballing ability sometimes outweighs the defending ability. It was Eddie Howe's question, you play Fabian Schär up front?
Yeah, he said that. He said he probably could do it, yeah.
He's that good of a footballer. He probably could do it. But defensively, he was outstanding. And he's just such a talented technical player. His passing's outstanding. He's got nous experience. He knows exactly where to be. What he lacks in pace, he makes up with brains. And he scored 2 goals. So it was an absolute phenomenal performance from the Swiss master. Yeah.
Alex, were you surprised at Villa's starting lineup yesterday? Because I certainly was when I saw Bailey on the bench, because he's been outstanding for them. And you saw that when he came on, the difference he made to Aston Villa. I mean, were you surprised at how Villa, A, the team lineup, and B, the way they started the game? Or was it because we nullified it straight away?
No, I think the lineup made sense. I think he planned for what we have been doing the last sort of month, and we turned up with a different game plan. So I think Emery planned the right way in theory, based on what he'd got in front of him to work with in our previous fixtures. I feel like so what his midfield was Tielemans, Douglas Luiz, Kamara, and McGinn. I think he's gone very, very solid, very technical with a bit of oomph to try and win the midfield battle, dominate the game, control the game. He'd got Moreno and Matty Cash, who are fast fullbacks. He's got Diaby and Watkins. I think he's set out to just control the game, and he was expecting them to create a lot more opportunities than they did as well. And I think it would have worked if this was us 2 weeks ago, or if this was against our team with no preparation. I think we would have lost this. It was the preparation that's done it for us, I think, and the tweaks. It's the rest and the tweaks, and the fact he's got time on the training ground. But yes, there were people on the bench such as Ramsey and Bailey. Had he tweaked things from the get-go, yeah, they might have got more out this game, Villa. So you're absolutely right. But I think Emery probably prepared for what he thought he was going to be facing. And we'd done our homework. And they executed it very, very well as players as well. It wasn't just, it's all well and good having a tactical plan, but you need the players with the capability and the understanding mentally to go and execute that plan. And they all did it very, very well.
By the way, interesting to see that a lot of the Villa fans have suddenly turned on Diaby. But Billy, it was nice to see that Eddie's got the, for all the plaudits that Unai Emery's got this season, Eddie's out-coached him twice, out-tactic, if that's a word.
He has, yeah, and not just only look closely. It's been a massive chasm between the two coaches and teams. I actually believe we were a better side than Aston Villa. I mean, the league positions don't lie, but I believe if we'd have had the same amount of injuries Aston Villa have had all season, we'd be way ahead of them in the league, and simple as that. But the coaching side of it, yeah, he sets us up. He thought about the game last year at Villa Park where we got annihilated, to be fair, to Aston Villa. And he's kind of thought about that and combated it. And we've been brilliant in 2 games this year. And this time we've played it with nine men out. So, that's a comprehensive out coaching, in my opinion.
Well, a lot of people saying that was Eddie's best game for a while, management-wise. And I can't really disagree with that. I think it was superbly managed. Graham Ritchie, thank you very much for your super chat as well. Much appreciated. Great performance. Eddie got his tactics spot on. Congratulations, lads, on 27K. Very well deserved. Best Toon fanzine. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Graham. Much appreciated, my friend. Alex, Anthony Gordon. I mean, what a signing this guy is. I mean, his work rate last night was absolutely phenomenal. Runs off the ball, runs with the ball. He caused Villa nothing but trouble all night.
Indeed, yeah. I just want to throw in a quick stat as well before I mention Gordon. I did get this from Football Joe off Twitter. I just thought it was really nice. We account for 27% of Villa's conceded goals this season. Just our 2 fixtures, which I thought is a great stat. Over a quarter of their goals conceded is just us, which is quite funny. Anthony Gordon, you're absolutely right. It was one of those evenings where he's not going to get the plaudits for his goals and assists in that game because he didn't get any. However, he was just monstrous. He's got all you need from Anthony Gordon is you just need him 10-20% fitter than he was in December. He needed a bit of rest, and he's just eating up turf for fun. There's just ground in front of him. He just takes it. It's his. He'll just run all night. He possibly needs to learn a bit if he's going to be slotting into as a centre forward sometimes. A lot of fouls that are kind of needless. We could have done with him maybe not losing the foul there, but it's fine. He very rarely plays there. I'm sure he'll learn. He's still very young. But he was just everywhere. 6 attempted dribbles, 3 actually converted, 9 out of 16 ground duels. I mean, he's pretty small, and he was, McGinn was giving it beans. They were all giving it all the beans, and Gordon just wasn't having any of it. He doesn't.
He gets himself right stuck in, and that's a good thing about Gordon. Cynical Jim says, evening all, missed a few shows. I got rushed to hospital last Thursday, and I'm back home now, minus a gallbladder. Oh, bloody hell. Get well soon, Jim. Just put your feet up and watch us. We're on from noon tomorrow as well, so you've got a whole day of us tomorrow. Paul Tully says, I was never in the Eddie out camp, but I wanted him to show he was learning. I think yesterday he showed something he hasn't really shown by solidifying the defence when needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. John Bruce says, this just proves we have an excellent manager. Dracula didn't have a clue. Eddie outdid him in all places on the pitch. He did, and it was fantastic to see. I mean, the thing is, Billy, towards the sort of, after that, pressure from Villa, and we nullified it by bringing on Livramento. I got the feeling Villa were out of ideas because when Eddie changed it to 5 at the back, Bailey made a couple of nice moves where he got past, Tino on a couple of occasions, but nothing came of it. it kind of nullified everything. And Villa ran out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, when we played them last season at home, they outworked us. They attacked us quickly. Everything was done at 100 miles an hour. Yet yesterday, they seemed very ponderous, very slow build-up. Even when they were 3 down, they weren't pushing the boat out to get at us quickly. And I just thought they needed to just raise the game by 10%, and they couldn't do it. And they were going nowhere, really. And then Bailey came on, did create a few problems. Lewis Miley tired. Byrne wasn't getting the support at left back that he probably needed. And he brought the mental one for Miley, and it was a fantastic sub. He just nullified them totally.
Yeah.
And they got frustrated. They started kicking us. I don't know how the Italian snitch didn't get sent off, because it just seemed to be after a red card since he came on.
Yeah.
He punched Byrne in the face twice. He went in late on someone at the back. I can't remember who it was, maybe Byrne or Botman, maybe the keeper.
The box, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So how he didn't get sent off, I'll never know. They were really ratty once, And
yeah.
Well, we come away with the 3 points. That's all that matters, really. But
absolutely
disappointed in the way they played.
George, I don't know why you put your comment in about 9 times, matey. I can see it come in. Villa need to play on the front foot. That is the only way they can win. Indeed.
They did play on the front foot.
But you only need to put your comment in once, mate. Don't worry about sort of 9 times. Rabbit Non says Gordon is an amazing signing. He can play left or right or as a false 9, and he puts 100% effort in. Absolutely.
I'm not sure he plays as a false 9. I think he was playing right on the last shoulder.
Yeah,
and
he was on the shoulder, yeah. Which he can do. He's very good at doing that, playing off the shoulder. But look, I mean, the big thing that come out of last night is, again, another injury, and possibly 2, depending on Dubravka's leg. That was heavily strapped up towards the end of the game. I hope it's just a dead leg, but we'll see in time. But the injury to Isak, there's been rumours going around today that he will possibly need surgery. Now, whether that's now or in the summer, I don't know. I don't know how true these stories are. You know what stories are like about injured players. Of course, Eddie said the famous words last night, it doesn't look too serious. Now, when he said that, it kind of does become serious. So he's given
black suit.
Yeah, he's given the kiss of death, hasn't he? So, where do we go on Saturday, guys? Because it's very quiet on the transfer front today. A few little links, obviously, with Ekitike being available on loan. But Eddie was adamant last night that nothing's happening.
Well, we haven't got the money, have we? Unless we sell somebody or get rid of someone off the wage bill, we just can't push the FFP any further. It's as simple as that. We may have
I'm sure we can on loan.
Billions and billions and billions and billions. Well, we couldn't afford the Calvin Phillips fee, could we? So, I mean, if they want any kind of transfer loan fee for Ekitike, we're not going to be interested, are we?
But we have something. We have things we can offer. This is what I don't seem to understand. Is obviously I'd love to be privy to part of these conversations, because there's got to be something. Surely, because at the moment, in the situation we're in, we just need somebody who's alive. That's it. The criteria is, are you a centre forward with general experience in a reasonable top league-ish? It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't even have to be as good as Chris Wood at this point.
Stefan Givash still playing.
Literally, we just need a body up front. We need somebody that's better than Parkinson, and that's it. That's with a bit of experience. I don't see why we don't go to bloody Scotland, anywhere. Go to other leagues and just say, look, you can have Hayden for the rest of the year. Just give us your second choice striker, and then
we've got the Irish Pele there. Offer Jeff Hendrick to somebody,
Exactly. There are levers we can pull. We just need to bin off someone and try and get someone in for no wages or minimal wages. I'm sure the club have explored avenues. They must have done, but it's something I would be considering, and I'm really, really nervous if we don't pull the trigger on any signings. Yeah. It's literally 6-month loan. They don't have to be very good. They honestly, that at this point, they don't have to be very good. They just need to be somewhere between Ben Parkinson and Wilson and Isak. Wherever that is in the level scale, at this point, we just don't care. We just need a body that can play up front.
Yeah, that rules out Riviere, then he's just below the Parkinson.
Well, I'd take anyone at this point. Go to the Championship and say any of the backup strikers, if they're okay, do you want to come and play for us for 6 months? Honestly, at this point, it makes no difference. We just need a body up front.
Well, put Lascelles in and play Share up front. Sean says, congratulations, lads, on 27. Best channel on YouTube. I thought we played superb yesterday, especially Bruno shared Botman, and even Miggy was good. Miggy was crazy when he came on. Playing down the left, played a lovely ball into Murphy. Can we just say how terrible Murphy's finish was in the first place? When he got that ball, he totally fluffed it up.
Yeah, he got annoyed that he got given as an own goal. It's like,
Yeah.
well, mate, you kind of you did that yourself.
Yes, you got away with that one, Jacob. Let's be honest. It was a terrible finish, but brilliant move, which deserved a goal, to be honest. It was a brilliant counter-attack. And listen, it went in the back of the net, and that's all that we care for anyway. But it was interesting that Jacob Murphy didn't know until he got interviewed that the goal wasn't his. He found out during an interview. Brilliant. But that lad is... I seen a stat today saying he's only played about 120 odd minutes of Premier League football this season, and he's got 4 goals and 1 assist or something. I think I read.
I think we looked at it on one of the shows you weren't in. He's got a ridiculous return because he's obviously got Champions League contributions as well. So he's got 211 minutes in the Premier League, 1 goal, 3 assists. But that doesn't factor in the own goal he's just created. So theoretically 2 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
And then he's also got an assist in the Champions League. He's not even hit 300 minutes yet.
It's madness.
Which is good.
It just says how much we need him.
And he could have had another one last night with that pass he put in for was it Gordon?
Yeah.
Gordon, it was a
unbelievable pass.
Unbelievable
pass.
Brilliant vision. Dylan Richardson, thank you very much for your super chat. He says this one's for Parkinson's as well. Amazing work, Paul, and all the best. Thank you very much, Dylan. Those of you, I mean, what are we? We're 1,100 in, so we've got a good crowd in again tonight. Tomorrow is going to be we're still, whether we're busy in the deadline day malarkey or not. This is happening tomorrow. It's deadline day, charity stream, and it goes live at midday with me and Billy. Alex will be joining us when he finishes work. Now, it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to have lots of giveaways for our members, a few viewers' prizes as well. The main thing is, though, we are raising Parkinson's UK. As you know, I've suffered from Parkinson's. It's a charity very, very dear to my heart. And this time around, we're doing also for Young Minds, the mental health charity looking after kids. They're playing a big part in my life again with my daughter at the minute. So I want to give something back to them as well for the amazing work they're going to be doing moving forward with my daughter as well. So we're looking to raise as much as we can. We'll keep you up to date with all the deals that are going through as well. Whether Newcastle get involved or not, time will tell. But we're live from noon all the way through till the window closes at 11 p.m. We're going to have a brilliant day. So hopefully you guys will spend as much of that with us as possible, and we can raise some real money for these 2 charities, because they're very important, and you've never let us down in the past, guys. That's a certain fact. So let's see what we can raise for them tomorrow. But lots to look forward to from 12 noon tomorrow, moving forward throughout the day. So join us for that.
Well, we will be doing lots. It's not just going to be transfer talk for January. We'll look at summer. No. We'll look at contracts expiring.
We'll be previewing the Luton game as well. That will be part of the stream. So we'll be doing everything tomorrow, because obviously we normally do our match previews on a Thursday. So the Luton preview will also be part of that show later on in the evening when Alex is with us. Barry the Beast says Luton at home next. Annoying time to play them after 4-0 thumping of Brighton. I do apologise. Wow. Big win for Luton, Billy, last night.
It was, and they need to carry Tom Lockyer around with them, because he was there last night, and of course he raised the crowd and obviously raised the team, because they were fantastic last night. However, we were fantastic last night. We're at home. We're going to hammer Luton Saturday. Yeah.
Alex, do you feel this? Well, I mean, when we...
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the Luton.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how happy you'll be to make a prediction, Alex, regarding Luton Town.
I can predict what we should do. Doesn't mean it will happen, but we should batter them as we should have done in the first fixture. It's not acceptable. They're not good enough to be a Premier League side, in my opinion. I know they beat Brighton, but I don't think they're good enough to be a Premier League side. And we shouldn't be losing to them. It's unacceptable. one loss, fine, but we need to be beating these convincingly.
Yeah. And Billy, I mean, look, for all the beat Brighton 4-0, Brighton are under. I think I read a stat today saying they've only won 3 Premier League games in 18 or something like that. They're on a real slow downward spiral, Brighton. So, I mean, we should beat Luton on Saturday, shouldn't we? Without being sort of big-headed.
Of course we should. Yeah, especially on the back of 2 fantastic results away from home. We have to come home now with the crowd behind us and all that. We're going to beat them. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to beat them. We're way ahead of them in quality. I think the work rate will be there. I think they won't be able to cope with the press. Won't be able to cope with the St James's Park atmosphere. Yeah, it's a home win for me all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the big thing, Alex, isn't it? I mean, look, it's different when you go to Kenilworth Road. It was a very strange situation that we had to go and play them at Kenilworth Road, obviously, with what happened to Lockyer, and they were out to perform for him, weren't they? It was the game after. Very different story at St James's Park.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of unfortunate that they've just come off the back of a good win now as well. We seem to always hit these teams at the wrong time. However, I feel like the only thing I could do is echo Billy's comments. We're at home. In fact, we're a bit better rested, with better form. Should be absolutely pumping these. Like, not even 1-0s. Like, this should be, it should be fine. Considering the performances we put in against Man City and Villa recently, there's really no excuses. Like, we've got Bruno available. We've got Gordon available. I understand that we're missing most of our midfield and Isak, which is going to be a problem. But I still think there's more than enough quality. So, and as Billy said, the ground as well. Them playing at St James's Park, it's not something they've done really. I mean, when was the last time they came to St James's Park as a football club? It would be a long time ago.
I'm going to say the cup in '93. They managed to scramble a draw and beat us in the replay.
Yeah, so this lot won't have seen the inside of the stadium really. There might be the odd player that's played against us, playing for previous clubs maybe, but it'll be a new experience for them.
Kevin says, "Don't say it, Alex. Don't say it. The Luton jinx." Of course, then we'll pump them.
Everyone's so terrified in the chat of me talking about Luton.
Absolutely.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've heard that before as well. ICKE, thank you very much for your super chat. Another one for Parkinson's. Also, my dad did it a few years ago. Sweet memories, the smell of the malt from S&N on the way to watch My Hero Super Mac. Gillian, thank you for your super chat. Here's a donation towards Young Minds. Paul, best of luck on your fundraising. Thank you, Gillian. Now, let's take Dan Byrne, Billy. We were worried that he was going to get done a few times last night. To be fair, he did get done when Bailey came on, but we nullified that. I thought Dan Byrne played quite well last night.
I thought it was very good. I thought it was outstanding, in fact. He didn't get any support. Morley ran out of steam, and that was one of the reasons why Bailey went past him with ease.
Yeah.
And Bailey's given lots of left-back problems this season, not just Dan Byrne. He even went past Livramento a couple of times. No great shakes and having him go past you. But I thought that on the whole, he was outstanding. He was getting forward as well. Defensively, really good. Obviously winning balls in the air, which he's going to do. But not just that, just getting his foot into certain times, the crucial times, and clearing balls out and being safe. I thought it was sound last night. Tactically really sound, defensively sound.
Yeah.
And he even went forward. So, yeah, I thought we had a great game last night. Really good game.
Yeah. Geordie Abroad says, did anyone notice how disappointed Martin Tyler was when we scored? Well, he hates us. Simple as that. I mean, Martin Tyler gets excited when, a blade of grass trips one of our players over. He's always been like that, Martin Tyler.
Their commentary was awful yesterday. Obviously, I listened to a duel of you guys and standard commentary, and the commentary was awful. They were basically saying, well, Aston Villa have played well, but it's not quite dropped for them, and this, that, and the other. And then they were talking about when Bailey came on, you could put music over the top of his skills. And so this is when they were 3-0 down, bearing in mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird.
It's normal,
weird
isn't it? I mean, we had almost 3,000 watching last night, which was incredible. And our commentary is getting more popular because of how poor the TV's commentary is. It's crap now. So, you'd rather listen to. I mean, the thing is, we're not sort of, when we do our commentary, we do appreciate the other teams, and we do say when the other teams score good goals or they do something good. But yes, we're a Newcastle channel. But I think when you're commentating on a game, you have to have that about you. But it just seems to be everybody now on the TV is they want the opposition to thump Newcastle, and it's becoming a bit of an agenda, Billy.
Well, it's always been the same as far as I remember. I mean, you can see it when Sky or whoever have a game on, and the opposing team are playing always have representatives on the pundits channels. I can remember us playing Sunderland. Every time we played Sunderland, Niall Quinn used to end up in the punditry role. So it's been going on for a long time. Don't know why. I have no idea why. But in the end, they'll be calling it back to us and hoping that we start doing things because we're going to be top of the elite soon. So they'll have to get on board with this.
Well, there's an extra layer to this. It's not just against us. It's just general competency. So you've got ex pundits, and all they did last night, and I won't name it, but all they talked about was back in my day, the offside. I'd like to see the offside flag go up here and not there. Handball this, and back in my day, the handball. Mate, shut up. That's not the rules. Give some value to the people watching. Explain what the situation is now. Help the person watching or listening to this. And all they're doing is just banging on about back in my day. It's just very Gabby O'Bonlahor kind of style talking. It's just nonsense. You're not offering any value to anybody listening. It doesn't really help. It doesn't explain what's currently going on. They just start monologuing about the past instead of talking about the match that people are actually watching and providing insight, which is what they're meant to do because they're meant to be professionals. And it's just getting boring now. And that's why loads of people are watching YouTube because it's just boring.
Yeah. Noticed Miggy not really celebrate after his assist for the third goal. Not usual for Miggy, either to do with illness or he's come across some of the shocking online abuse this week. Look, I mean, Jacob Murphy made a point of running over to him, actually. So I'm not reading in anything into that. Miggy's here to stay for the rest of the season now for so let's support him. I know I've been very critical of him and rightly so, in my opinion. He hasn't been good enough, but anyone who pulls on the black and white shirt, we will support. I think I'd like to see Miggy on the left on Saturday if Gordon plays through the middle. So I think he's and Murphy on the right. I think that would work. Samsonite Dove, thank you for your super chat. Another big thanks and thumbs up for the match commentaries. Thank you very much, matey. Toon Gamerson, Emery not shaking our staff's hands shows he has no class. Well, look, he was disappointed to lose the game. He shook Eddie's hand and he walked off. What I will say is he was very complimentary about Newcastle in his post-match interviews. He immediately said straight away when he was asked about the game, he said, hats off to Newcastle. They were excellent, blah, blah, blah. He was very, very complimentary about it. And I'm happy about that, Alex, because he could have been grumpy and things didn't go their way, but he was very, very complimentary about Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really anything overly controversial in that game at all. I think, if anything, Villa got the benefit of certain decisions with yellow cards. I think maybe Trippier could have seen a yellow on a tactical foul, but I think it was one of his early, maybe first fouls. But I thought a couple of their players, McGinn, Kamara, I thought should have seen and been warned a lot sooner and been booked a lot sooner. Because McGinn was just going out to hurt people. He really was at one point in that game, and the referee needed to control that. He's not big and he's not clever. He just wanders off, thinking he's a big hard man. The referee needs to, you need to take the ego off the pitch. You need to get him in the book and tell him to calm down or you're off, lad, because you don't want to be hurting people. It's a game of football. You can tackle hard and you can be physical, but he was just trying to hurt people at that point. And I've completely forgotten my point now because I just don't like John McGinn. So
I don't either.
John McGinn's a rat, as I'm sure we will all agree. He's a great footballer, and he is one of those players though last night. But yeah, he's such a rat.
He is one of those players that you would love in your side, though, isn't he? He's a bit, if you look back to Anthony Gordon, he was a little rat, but look what he's doing for us. I think McGinn in that middle of the park for us is somebody we could really do with at the minute.
He's a good player, no doubt about it. But when things ain't going his way,
he's an arse. Don't get me wrong, but
he kicks people, and he kicked people last night. And he kicked people more than 3 or 4 occasions. Don't know how he stayed in the pitch. Not as much as the Italian snitch, because he got away with murder last night. Yellow carded for 4 red card offences, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Kamara got away with some nasty tackles, very nasty tackles. I think the first or the second one, he didn't even get spoken to, which was beyond belief. But look, we've got, I think, the chances of a famous player, Alex, coming back on Saturday, somebody that we haven't had much to do with, somebody called Harvey Barnes may be back on Saturday. Can you believe that?
Never heard of him, mate. Sorry.
Okay, right, fair enough. Well, apparently he could be back on Saturday.
I mean, if that's true, I don't even know if FB Ref's going to recognise his name. Let's have a look. No, not Barnsley. No, that's not the same person. No, not Ashley Barnes. Oh, God, I'm having a mare. Just come back to me. It's fine. I've got to find him.
Okay. Mary, thank you for your super chat. Tomorrow's charities, such a beautiful way to say thank you for the work you all do on this channel. Thank you very much, Mary. Much appreciated. And thank you for being a big part of it. Foxy says one thing about McGinn, he protects the ball so well, but ridiculous fouls from him towards the end. And I think it was frustration. And that's kind of understandable, Billy, when you get, you're trying different things and then suddenly you run out of ideas, frustration kicks in. We've seen that with Newcastle.
It wasn't just that. It was his attitude towards the referee as well. It was, dissent on every single decision, trying to referee the game himself, kicking people left, right and centre.
Yeah.
I know it's frustration. I know, obviously, they didn't expect to be beaten by Newcastle yesterday. But at the end of the day, they were outclassed by Newcastle. It wasn't a case of being beaten, they were outclassed by them.
Yep.
I found Harvey Barnes, by the way.
Okay.
So just to refresh people's memories as to who he is. So he is a footballer, Harvey Barnes. He's English. We bought him from Leicester, in case anybody's forgotten. Anyway, he played 187 minutes for us in the Premier League with a goal and an assist and actually made 1 minute. He's got 1 minute in the Champions League. So presumably we subbed him on for like 1 minute, maybe in that Milan game. Can't remember one of them. So he's played 188 minutes for us in competitive competitions this year. And he's actually got a goal and assist. So he's turned 26 now. So he's 26 years old and 53 days. So since his injury, he's ticked over into being a 26-year-old. So we'll see what he's all about. I think one thing to say is when he comes back, same as Jacob, same as everyone, you got to give him a bit of time. If he doesn't hit the ground running for 3, 4, 5 games, you've got to get. He was out with a bit of a freak injury, and when he does come back, all jokes aside, he might not be great for the first couple of fixtures. You've got to give him time to bed in, especially with the way we play. I know it's frustrating because we paid a lot of money for him, and he's peak age, but he'll be fine. Just got to give him a few weeks.
Or he might just get back on that pitch and we'll see the bow and arrow straight away.
Well, maybe.
We never know. Right, let's do the player ratings, guys. And as usual, please take part in the player ratings. Let us know in the chat what you think of our ratings. And do you agree? What would yours be? Etc. Etc. Just a quick reminder before we go into the player ratings, guys, of tomorrow's show again. We go live from noon. With deadline day all the way through till it closes at 11 p.m. It's a marathon event for us, but we are doing it as a charity stream as usual. And all proceeds from the super chats will go to Parkinson's and Young Minds. Very, very, very close to my heart charities, guys. It is my birthday tomorrow as well. So I'm giving up my birthday to do this because it's very important as well. And, we have a lot of fun with it as well. Alex will, of course, be joining us once he gets in from work. And we've got lots of daft stuff going on. We'll have some quizzes. We'll have prizes, everything tomorrow. So really looking forward to it. Billy might even break into song at some point. Who knows? He always tends to when he starts getting tired on the stream. He breaks into a voice. How old, says Charlie? Charlie, I am 28 tomorrow. Yeah, that's just damn right chic. But thanks for asking, Charlie. Right, let's get into it. We'll start with Dubravka. Alex.
I'm going to give him a 9. I really liked his performance. 3 saves from inside the box. I loved 2 high claims. He plucked the ball out of the air a few times, put his body on the line, got clattered, battled through the injury, so Karius didn't have to come on. Yeah, technically good at the back when he gets pressed. This is 2 games on the trot now where he keeps getting pressed high and he doesn't mess around with it. He passes it nice and crisp and cleanly, doesn't panic.
Yeah.
We've not seen any Nick Pope stuff from him. He even tried to run out and do a bit of sweeping. It nearly killed him, but he had a go. I'll give him a 9. I thought that was probably the best we've seen him this season.
That's a disgraceful comment, by the way. But you are a member of the channel, so I'll let you off with it. Mike, thank you very much. Look, I'm going to give Dubravka a 9 as well. But was anybody else a little disappointed we didn't get to see Karius come on?
Absolutely not. Not at all. You're on your own there, mate.
1-0 to Brentford, by the way, at Spurs.
He's an unknown quantity. He's played 1 competitive fixture for us. I'd rather have Dubravka in goal.
Such hypocritical tosses, the both of you.
All right, let's wind the clock back with your magical watch.
A couple of games ago, you were all begging for Karius to play, so don't come out with that crap.
Yeah, but
right?
Dubravka's come in and proved us wrong.
Well, maybe. But the fact is, some people would have liked to have seen Karius. And
good fact.
Imagine if he'd come on and we'd have lost 4-3.
Shut up, Billy. What Dubravka?
My marks. All those
your footprint, you bell end.
All those things you just said are true. And he was also almost had lost his leg to a terrible challenge from Watkins, although he did have a right to go for the ball. Stood up there on his thigh.
Billy, he wasn't in
the great
white shark, man.
I want them all off.
He wasn't in Jaws.
However, there were a couple of times where he stuck to his line again. There was actually, yeah. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Ooh. To be fair, that reminds me of the commentary. I know we've moved on from that, but did you see that when that challenge happened? The commentator was talking about, Ollie Watkins is up and he looks okay and he could have been really hurt. As Dubravka's lying there in agony, so he's just talking about Watkins. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. It's so biased; it was ridiculous. Not even about the football, just about injuries.
Billy Tree is trying to, is becoming our equivalent to Ty from EFTV, because every tackle that flies in now, that's a red. That's a red.
That's Ty with his studs. I mean, it was a red.
Nearly lost his leg. That's superb. Absolutely superb. That got me, Billy. You are a gem, as well as a twat at times, but you're a gem. Right, let's move on to Kieran Trippier, Billy.
No, I'm going to give him a 9. Thought it was outstanding. Defensively sound again, as he was against Fulham. Back to his best now. Those distant memories of December are just those now, distant memories. He's back on his game again. Brilliant last night, 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm giving him a 9 as well. He was outstanding. And of course, 2 corners, which provided goals yesterday, which we don't often see happen. Corners leading into goals, but we saw one at Fulham, and now we saw 2 last night. It's definitely improving. Alex, Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, I'll go with a 9. I think a 10 would be too far, but I'm going to give him a 9 with the added context that he was part of a different pressing structure, and he was great. The energy he showed. We've got to remember again, he's no spring chicken. So the energy he was showing in that press to try and save legs for other people is an added feature in his game against Villa. 4 key passes, 5 accurate crosses. He got an assist. He was everywhere. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think a 10 would be too far, but he's damn close. He's damn close because he did a lot of really interesting stuff last night.
Right, across to the other side, Dan Burn. I'm going to give Dan Burn a 7. I thought he was steady away last night, not to, not stand out or anything. Just steady away, and a much stronger performance than what we saw at Fulham early doors. Of course, he got better at Fulham. We know that, but I think he was steady away with a 7 last night. Alex?
9. Absolutely ridiculous in duels. He won everything. 5 out of 6 aerial duels, 5 out of 7 ground duels. He positioned himself well. He was again part of the press, which was weird. It was weird seeing him so high up. We did the back 3 structure really, really nicely. He was competent. He communicated well. He was a nuisance. And I think that the only few times that he struggled was when his wide cover in Miley was tiring, as Billy's already pointed out, which absolutely. I absolutely loved it. 5 tackles, 4 interceptions, 6 clearances, absolute monolithic performance from him. I loved it. I'll give him a 9. I thought he was great.
Monolithic. Billy?
I'll go in between the two of you and give him an 8. Yeah, I thought he was very good. And when he went into centre half, he looked solid as well. So, yeah, all those stats, just prove out what a good game he had.
Interesting. Right, we'll move to the centre backs. Look, centre backs. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to mark them together and give them both a 10. I thought they were both outstanding last night. Did everything superbly well. Fabian Schär, listen, how can you not love Fabian Schär? I mean, it's he is an incredible story at Newcastle United. Rafa didn't think much of him. Neither did Steve Bruce. And look at him now. Just both of them outstanding. Billy?
Yeah, I agree. 10 for both. Both were absolutely solid as rocks. Okay, a few once or twice they were cut through. But, I mean, generally, they're just so solid. And 2 goals from Schär, you can't not give them a 10. I may give Botman a 9, actually. Botman 9 and Schär 10. Okay.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to give them both 10s, but the fact that Fabian scored 2, there needs to be some difference there. So Schär gets a 10. Well, I mean, there does. That's how numbers work, Paul. And I will give one a 10 and one a 9. But yeah, just absolutely bonkers. I'm going to talk about the defensive contribution from Schär because everyone else is going to talk about the goals, and that's fine. We can talk about the goals. 7 clearances, 3 block shots, an interception, and a clearance off the line. Really impressive. Very impressive. And Botman, I mean, I swear that we just copy and paste the same stats into every game that Botman plays.
Yeah, he's
50 out of 54 passes, 93% passing accuracy, won most of his duels, just an absolute Rolls Royce. He just stands there and just hoovers up everything and pings the passes around nice and carefully. He's just Mr. Consistent. He's an absolute tank. But yeah, a 10 for Schär and a 9 for Botman.
Okay, let's move into midfield now. We'll start off with Bruno. Billy?
9 out of 10 for me. Outstanding again. Defensively solid as well. And he was part of the press, which was good. The midfield work dovetailed last night. When Bruno went part of the press, someone stepped in for him. There was no holes for them to penetrate.
Yeah.
Some of his long distance passing was outstanding as well. The ball through to Gordon over the top. Just a phenomenal pass. 9 out of 10 for me.
Holes to penetrate. So when you didn't make a joke off your own?
I'm being serious here.
Do you know something? I didn't even think about it.
Alex?
10.
Okay.
I'm giving Bruno a 10. 6 accurate long balls, 10 out of 15 ground duels, which is one of the big reasons why I'm giving him a 10. Again, a midfield of McGinn, Kamara, Douglas, Luiz, and Tielemans. And Bruno absolutely put a shift in. He actually got us. So he drew 6 fouls. He got beaten up in midfield. He won most of what got thrown at him, and he got us 6 free kicks. He was an absolute tank. His passing was magnificent. He gets an extra point for the Kinder. On top of that, he got himself in a couple of goal-scoring positions, but Villa were very, very good at just throwing bodies in the way. Another day he could have got a goal out of yesterday. He was just absolutely outrageous. And I saw an improvement in him being a bit more reserved in the 6. A couple of times where he sat and he was in the right place and it was noticeable. And Sean as well, I know we'll get to him, but they both, I think they've been told very, very sternly that those gaps need to stop. And they were both far more disciplined. I'm giving Bruno a 10. I just thought just everything as a whole.
I'm giving him a 10 as well, Alex. But you know what? I was also really proud of Bruno yesterday for his discipline.
Yeah, no yellows.
He didn't react to the tackles that came in on him. He just got up and got on with the game, stayed out of all the trouble, didn't get involved. Just an absolute brilliant performance from Bruno, and sort of proved to me that he can be disciplined when he wants to be and not lose his head in certain situations. And I don't think Bruno wants to be suspended. If that makes sense.
I don't think he made a foul all night because, I mean, guarantee his first foul of every game he played against yellow for.
Absolutely. But I don't.
He's got 0 fouls on record, but he got fouled 6 times.
I think he'd be absolutely gutted if he got suspended and missed 2 games. I just don't think Bruno wants to do it. But he's playing so much more disciplined. And he looks better for it, though. He really does look better for it. But absolute brilliant performance. I mean, we did get a comment last night, Billy. I don't know if you can remember in the chat, somebody having a go at Bruno saying he was off his game or something, and he was one of our weak points. I was staggered. Probably a troll, but who knows? Right, let's move on to Lewis Miley, Alex.
Struggled in the second half.
Yeah.
Really good in the first. He was included in Gordon and Byrne, and obviously Isak when he kept swapping over. He was included in all of the on the ball build up on the left hand side and the pressing. He needs to learn a little bit, but it was fine. It was fine. He was getting to the byline a few times, trying to ping in crosses. He was doing all the right things. You know, I did feel like I wish it was someone else on the ball when he was getting to those positions, but he was fine with it. It's for his age, it was absolutely exceptional. But he did really start to struggle positionally and getting the right pass first time in that second half. The sub was needed. I'll give him a 7, but I like that he listened again for a 17-year-old to go away in training and to understand how to do all the build up and to change everything that he's been doing. Is really, really good. So it shows he can learn and change and improve.
I'm giving him a 7 as well. And I think what I liked about the first half was he tried a couple of things with his left foot as well. You know, he tried a through ball. He tried.
He just seemed quite two-footed, actually.
Yeah, he's trying, and he's obviously working on that, which I like to see. But he did fade. But listen, you know, we'll say it till the cows come home. He's still a kid, and you know, he's played a lot of games lately, and he's doing well, doing really well. A 7 for me, Billy.
I'm gonna give him an 8. I thought it's maybe his best attacking performance for us from the midfield position. You know, he really did get forward and support the front three. He did run out of steam, no doubt about it. Went out of steam, and he's 17. That's going to happen. But I think a really good attacking performance and quite a good physical performance as well. He wasn't weak in any challenges, didn't shirk anything, won the ball a few times. I'll give him an 8. Yeah,
considering he had McGinn, he was defending McGinn on corners.
Yeah.
Fair enough, lad. Like, I'm surprised they put Miley on McGinn, but he handled it quite well.
Greg remembers that the Villa troll that was in the chat last night saying that we were shit and still they were 9 points ahead of us after being smashed twice by us. I mean, it was an extraordinary comment.
Let's read it. Let's go to the back to this in May, shall we?
Yes, absolutely. Right, let's move on to Sean Longstaff, Alex.
Tricky one because his data is awful. Shocking. 65% passing accuracy. 1 out of 5 ground duels. However, I didn't hate his performance. I thought he was all right on the eye. I thought he worked really hard. He was part of the important pressing structure. He was in the right places at the right time. And visually, I didn't hate it. It just doesn't look very good on paper. So I'll use my eyes as well with this. And I'm just going to plonk him in a 7 because I thought it was okay. I think the numbers do him a little bit dirty. I don't think he was too bad. I think he was quite important.
Okay. Billy Bob?
I won't give him a 9. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I know the stats don't do him any justice, but that's it. They don't do him any justice. In fact, he should have scored a goal, in fact. And had he scored that goal, I probably would have given him a 10. I thought it was brilliant.
That's true. He arrived late, didn't he, for... Was it Bruno? And then it went to...
But his discipline...
It was a brilliant move, but I think that move you're talking about, Billy, we said it in commentary last night.
That's where Bruno should have scored, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we just had... Everybody had too much time. It seemed like they all had too much time to think about things. And when it got to Sean, I think he had too much time.
But it was a disciplined performance as well. He sat in the 6th when Bruno went on the press. You know, I thought it was an outstanding game for him. He's coming back to his best now. Had a few
Very
games.
Disciplined.
His engine, it's such a fantastic engine. He runs everywhere all day. So 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think Sean takes a lot of flack from our fans for some strange reason. I do. I mean, look, we'll call him out when he's been poor. And look, there's been plenty of times he has been poor. Look, there's Geordie Nixon. Longstaff was awful last night and giving him a 5.
He wasn't awful. There were a few really good situations where he identified that he needed to drop in because nobody had noticed it. And it's an invaluable part of it's one of the reasons why we look so good for an hour, because he knew when he needed to drop in and not.
And I think that's what a lot of fans, a lot of fans don't see is you know, maybe the work he does off the ball.
You don't get credit for that in the data.
No, you don't. And I think that's why I agree with certain people in the chat saying he needs to get a little bit nasty. Just a bit more in the faces. But that'll, Sean plays his game. I'm going to give him a 7. Billy? Oh, you've done it. Let's move on to the front three now, and we'll start off with Jacob Murphy. Billy?
I'm going to give him a 9. Really, really good game, and given it's his second game in 3 months of missing games, just an outstanding performance. Some of the passing he did was great. Okay, let's give him the goal. For instance, it was an own goal, but at the far post when he did tap it in. But just a really, really good performance from him, and we've really missed him actually.
We have. Yeah. I'm giving him a 9 as well. I thought he was brilliant. I love his attitude. I love his shithousery as well. He was doing it towards the end of the game last night as well. When we got a goal kick and he was doing this. Brilliant, man. He's just such a big fan of the club as well. He loves Newcastle, and we love him. 9 for me. Alex?
I mean, I'm not sure it was a 9 performance, but I'll give him a 9 purely, but just based on the context of the passion, the fact he's come back from injury, it's his second game back. I think it probably bumps it up to a 9. Yeah, because he arguably got that goal. Very, very careful with the ball as well. 15 out of 16 passes. He only misplaced 1 pass in the entire match.
Yeah.
And that one pass, there was one pass he made last night was absolutely phenomenal. It really was.
I mean, that was his key pass. He's been credited with. He's got a key pass.
Brilliant pass.
He's a threat. You've got to mark him. We've missed him in the last. What was it? 12 weeks. You said he was out for. Was it really that long? God, it can't have been that. He said 12 weeks. Was it 12 weeks? I feel like it was less than that. But yeah, 9's fair. I thought he was. Yeah, and for the context of everything, it's great to have him back as an extra option.
Yeah. Right, Anthony Gordon, 10 for me. Absolute. Incredible, and there was a stage in the second half that he was just all over the pitch. I don't know whether you can remember, Billy. We mentioned it in commentary when he came across he went to the far side. He came back across the near side. He was chasing the ball back across the far. He was just everywhere. And for the fact that I think very unfortunate not to get a goal. Of course, hit that brilliant shot which Cher scored from. He's just outstanding. The kid is special, and his work rate is second to none. And if you remember back to when we signed him, people were saying, "Oh, his attitude stinks," and all of this. Well, I've seen nothing but just a fantastic attitude from Anthony Gordon, a fantastic work rate attitude. He absolutely loves it at Newcastle United, and he's rapidly becoming a lot of people's favourite player because he's just an absolute energetic ball of absolute fireworks. He really is. And 10 for me. Billy?
Yeah, he terrorised Aston Villa from the first minute to the 88th or 89th minute when he went off. Just absolutely terrorised them. They had no idea how to deal with him. They didn't have the pace to deal with him. They didn't have the patience to deal with him. They had nothing. They just literally couldn't do anything. And he caused them absolute havoc. So without scoring a goal, it's even without scoring a goal, it's still an easy 10 for me.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's absolutely fair. He's very underrated this season. Seven goals, 5 assists is bonkers. The audacity to go and hit that shot and hit the crossbar as well. We don't have players that really do that. Shelvey was the last person to try that for us, but I think Eddie Howe's kind of drilled that out of people. He wants them to recycle the opportunity to play it out. Whereas Gordon went, "Nah, sod that. I'm just going to thump this." Thundered it off the crossbar, and it's the reason why we got the goal. So sometimes you just got to hit it. When it lines up for you, you just got to hit it.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything that Billy said, just they weren't sure how to deal with him. One thing that we've not mentioned is I absolutely loved the interchange between him and Isak, just constantly left, right. They're just constantly swapping because they had no idea who they were marking, and we just kept getting in, and that's why Miley kept finding space because they just didn't know who they were supposed to be marking. It was amazing, and it's a real shame Isak's gone off injured because I'd love to see more of that. That was really cool. That worked really nicely.
Nathan says Gordon must be trending better than Kvaratskhelia and Leao this season, Alex. I'm sure.
I mean, his on the ball stuff doesn't look great statistically on his FB ref, purely because he does a lot of off the ball stuff and defensive work, and we've been struggling recently. It's not done his general data any favors, but his tackles and blocks are still up really high, and his return 7 goals, 5 assists.
Mm.
You know, people talk about Harvey Barnes versus Maxi. That's not really the conversation we should be having. I think the easy one is just Gordon, left wing. You know, we're halfway through the season. He's on 12 goal contributions.
Absolutely.
Night and day different.
Yep. Billy?
I've already given 10. Yeah.
I just started asking again. Right, Alexander Isak. Obviously only played 42 minutes, but that's enough for us to rate him before he went off injured. Billy Bob?
I'll give him an 8. He looked very dangerous, and I think if he'd have played the full 90, he'd probably have got himself on the score sheet. Because again, they didn't really know how to deal with him. His pace, his trickery. Yeah, it was a shame he got injured when he did, because I think we'd have come away with a heftier victory than what we did. But
yeah,
that's the way it's going for us at the minute, and hopefully we can get him back sooner rather than later.
I'm going with a 7 for Isak. Probably the same reasons, Billy, but I think it would have been a bit of a higher score had he been on for the full game. I would have thought he would have got some opportunities. Alex?
Yeah, I think the 7's fair. 9 touches, 43 minutes. Feels a bit low. However, didn't misplace a single pass, got a key pass, was a constant threat driving when he was on the ball.
And also the stuff he did off the ball that we've just been talking about there, Alex. The
he was very energetic.
Yeah,
that worked really well. I'll give him a 7, but I feel like I'm getting a bit concerned about the injury now.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit concerned about how frequently it's happening.
Well, we'll see what happens with that during the week. Right, Miggy, Billy.
Well, he contributed really well from that left-hand side, and you know, even though he's really left-footed, he still cut inside when he was on the left-hand side, which is strange. But I think Eddie Howe tells his wide men to do that. I think that's why he plays inverted wingers, and I think maybe Miggy was playing to instruction there. I don't know, because that's not his natural way of going on the left-hand side, but he did.
Yeah.
Assist? Would you say it was an assist? I think it's got to be an assist, hasn't it? Even though it's
it doesn't count as one, but it
doesn't count.
Really.
Really, shouldn't it? But there you go. I thought he did really well when he come on. I'll give him a 7.
It goes down as a big chance creator.
Sorry, an 8. Give him an 8.
Yeah, I'm giving him an 8. I thought he was lively when he came on. I thought he helped out defensively. I thought he looked much better on the left, to be honest. And I expect him to be on the left against Luton Town. And let's see what he can do on the left. I think he's a danger when he can get down the left, whip crosses in. Let's see if he does that. But I thought he did really well when he came on, given all the stuff that's surrounded the Saudi move, and then obviously staying some of the absolute knobheads that put abuse online. That idiot that put a collection together of Miggy misses and stuff like that. You want to hold your head in shame. Ridiculous stuff. I know I criticize Miggy a lot, and do I think he's the future? No, I don't. But I wouldn't exactly abuse him like that. It's just I'll criticize him till the cows come home. But he played well last night, and well done to him for that, getting over that. And I'm pleased for him. An 8, Alex.
Yeah, I think an 8's fair. What people maybe missed is he actually won the ball back that started the move to get the 3rd goal as well. Until Livramento came on, he was carefully trying to help out as a wing back in certain phases. Considering he's not really played there for us for a long time, years since I've seen him really properly on the left for any extended period of time, he did a lot really well. He came inside, he played nice and wide. He a couple of times he got free and was just running at defenders, playing kind of with a bit of fearlessness that I've not seen in quite a while. He was quite happy to just maraud forward, and yeah, really clean and tidy performance. Considering he's not really been doing any of that on that side at all, and the sort of things he was asked to do, he did it really well. And I know people will just say, "Yeah, but you're a winger. You should just be able to do it on both sides." Yeah, but at that level, it's a bit different because when you're talking such fine margins, you've got a fraction of a second to make a decision and to get your first touch right and to make the right passing angle and block a passing lane. At that level, it's so hard to get it right. And I thought he did magnificent.
Yeah. The only other substitute we're going to score from last night is Livramento. Billy?
Well, yeah, it was the change that shored things up for us, and he came on and at least held Bailey at bay more often than not. I mean, he did go past him a couple of times, but it's not his side of the pitch. It's not.
That was when he first came on, Billy. I thought when he got into the game, he actually matched Bailey for pace when he tried to go around him a couple of times.
Yeah, I think he played. I think he defended really well. Yeah, I'll give him. How long was he on for? 20 minutes, something like 25 minutes. I'll give him a 7.
I'm going to go with an 8. I thought he did really well. Once he got warmed up and got into the game, very, very difficult situation to come onto because Villa were pressing, and I thought he did very well. Alex,
I'll give him a 9.
Okay,
just for the context of it. I mean, how old is Livramento now? I can't even remember Livramento. How do we spell his name? Livramento. He is 21. Right. So he's a 21-year-old right back. And Eddie Howe's just gone, right, you, 21-year-old right back, can you just come on now for 20 minutes and be a left wing back against Bailey, who's just come on fresh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a 9. I thought the context of that was magnificent, and he understood he was getting beaten. He needed to be physically up for it, and he adapted to that. I just think the context, I'm going to give him a 9. I thought you don't get much better than that. You tell a young lad who's not even from that, it's not even his position, go and just tidy that up and see the game out. Absolutely magnificent.
Yeah. Eddie Howe, is it 10s across the board for Eddie last night, guys?
Masterclass. Absolute masterclass 10.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. And also a 10 for the Newcastle fans who made that trip, given the ridiculous kickoff time. But there you go. That is it for the match review. A very good match review tonight. Again, another victory for Newcastle United, which is, given how the last few months have gone, it's nice to get 2 wins under the belt, and certainly moving forward up to 7th, of course, in the Premier League, and battling again for Europe now. And that's exactly where we want to be. Still in the Cup, of course. Still a lot to play for this season. One more shout out for tomorrow, guys. Charity stream kicks off at noon with me and Billy. Alex will join us once he gets in from work. N. Fletch, thank you for your super chat. Young Minds and Parkinson's, we're raising money for tomorrow. Please be with us as long as you can, really, tomorrow. It's a long shift for us, but we want to put on a good show for deadline day for you guys. There may not be much happening in the transfer world, but we'll bring you up to date with everything that does. We may be linked with somebody, who knows? You never know what happens on deadline day when decisions have to be made very, very quickly. So we'll be back at noon tomorrow. Young Minds and Parkinson's. It'll be a great day. Prizes, quizzes, guests, all sorts of stuff. And we'll have a good laugh with it. So please be there from 12 noon. It is also my birthday. So, throw some contributions towards the charities for a birthday present. That would be nice. But thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for super chats and new members. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Billy and Alex. Thank you to you guys. We will be back at noon tomorrow for a massive shift, and we'll see you then. Good night, all.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check on some